Sky. They got 113 against the guard last week, and now they have to readjust that. The same comp, but also to a different playstyle to C9 that has been borrowing a little bit of this Korean meta on Haven with this composition itself.
Yeah, I love seeing the Breach everywhere. You'll hear me sing the praises. I want to see him on almost every map. But it just offers so much, and it does require a little bit more execution. You're not droning in your Guiding Light or Trailblazer and Fault Line, and they are in to start things off. Leaf is up high, drops down low as he takes a bit of damage.
You talked about execution, and it's right there in the lineup from Leaf from behind, and that's a triple kill right away. And that is an explosion for Cloud9 into the site. You tried to play some sort of an anchored spot for LG, didn't work, didn't look at the right corner, and it's already going to be Dazzle, the IGL in a 4 versus 1, coming back towards the defender spawn, out into the entrance of the backside of C, spotted by the turret, spotted by Zeta. A combination's about to happen soon, and it's just going to be Leaf getting the quad into the round, and he did that pretty much on his own, dodging all these nanoswarms inside the site.
That was incredible. I actually thought Leaf took so much damage, he would have got cleaned up on a quick spin, but everybody was not prepared on the side of LG for Leaf to be that close. Nobody was in the site to hear that jet dash, right? So they don't know he's dropping in. The mollies kind of cover a bit of his sound, and Leaf went to work. The rest of the team playing it well. It would be so funny if they just didn't do anything this round for the first, like, 30 seconds, because, man, they set the pace on that pistol round.
Yeah, it's Luminosity setting the pace instead. 2 players pushing down mid. B-Dog's already down towards sewers. Spot at 1 to start, and he's scaling up here towards the A choke point, but there is that double push down inside that window. Zeta could be under heavy pressure if it doesn't be careful. If he's not careful, rather, and he's not. Pig does get the kill, but you have the rest of the reinforcements of Cloud9 back towards the spawn side. They all drop down for the LG pushers, and it's, once again, Dazzle on his own.
A little pressure. Only Zeta, though. C9. Leaf.
Spike.
And that's back down. He says, give me all of the ult points I can get early, please. He's going to have ultimate next round if you can find this last frag, and you can see him going on a little almost solo mission to window, but they're here mid. That's Vanity picking up the frag. 3 for a Bulldog. And even getting the Bulldog, buying Eco, they'll be able to keep that in the next round. So a little bit more money in the hands of C9 for those 2 rounds, if even just pocket change. Here we are to our first gun round, though, Vance. The bonus coming in with 2 rifles from the side of C9, so we'll see how they decide to play it here. Leaf just goes for an ult orb to start, or they, again, take it slow and draw a default line.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bit of A-love to start off, though.
Leaning a bit towards this A side for sure.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out there was going to be a push down towards the C side as well. So you have a default setup from Mitch. He's going to put the turret down towards grass. The fault line coming out towards long. So we have taken control of the sewers for Cloud9, but B-Dog's on the upwards path on the top of the boxes. That's not going to get spotted by the Trailblazer, so he might get a big kill here.
No way.
He's not. It's going to be Leaf once again.
I mean, Jet knows Jet, right? You're going to be looking at those angles. Leaf checks it. Finds the opening frag here on the 3rd round. He had the first 2 on the 1st round. Leaf is already having a huge impact.
And this, meanwhile, also gives the opportunity for Vanity to get inside this A-side choke point. And set everything up now towards the C side for a pop as soon as the Nanostorm's about to dissipate. A peek coming out as well from Moose. That's going to get some information. Flashes coming out from a Sky, too. But nothing's really going to happen as of yet. We're falling back for Cloud9. We've also lurked up towards the mid side for Mitch, so we might still finish towards the A side. There's still so much time to work with in this round.
I love this from Moose. Instant info grab. He's going to get picked here, I think. That's why the position of Mitch was so close to his utility. Still kept long, so C9 know there's a long push. That means numbers in A if they rush. Can they make it in, though, for the angles?
Flash in, but we're playing off angle at the graffiti area, and that's Tig for 2 with a nice grab duel on the ground. So that spiked down, and it's a 3-on-3. 18 seconds left, waiting for these smokes to dissipate now towards the A side. But a crossfire set up. Vanity still gets the kill with the Bulldog. Bites back towards the left side, looking for the trade. It's not going to happen as Dazzle anchors it down, and they get the first point on the board for LG, but losing 3 weapons, 3 rifles in the process.
Vans, I had a hard flashback there as we saw that corner spot being played by Tig. That's where Poised was for Rise, setting up the same thing that covered just a jut out of the short area, and it's such a hard angle for the team to look at coming in, the team of Cloud9. What a little setup that we've seen teams kind of resort to in that A site. that is so hard for the opponents to be taking, especially in a tight situation. LG come up really nice there, knowing the angles they needed in A to take, and they just stopped Cloud9 in their tracks.
Nice little spray in the beginning, a little bit of damage onto Zeta, but we actually have a dash inside B instead of going for the plant dash out. So a little bit of a bait to pull rotations down towards this mid side. And that's 3 players of LG converting into the B site while C9 cutting noise and just holding back towards the grass. Maybe a late re-hit once again into B.
Like Leaf. When you hide like that, he's going to do something explosive, but also spike for Leaf. So that means it might be that fast plant we see on B. Yeah. Dash out.
Can't get out.
High flash. There we go.
Use it to put it in, so now he's probably going to updraft towards the top or maybe just try to get away. But he's got the Blade Storms to work with, right? So you want him to push. So it's going to be Zeppa looking for that information with the Trailblazer as they spot 2 towards the A choke point. You have 3 on the C side link. And here comes a fault line, a flash, belt in the air. Leaf gets the headshot. Zeta then again to capitalize on that second push into the A choke. But meanwhile, though, we are closing in on the defender side, on the C side, and it's still going to be Cloud9 holding it down. An aftershock coming out from Zeta as well, and Dazzle in the back of Gong. Well, that rings to his death. That's Leaf with another kill, and he's been on point for the first few rounds here of this first half.
He really has, and C9's utility usage has been spot on. The fake flash here, Mata's all disoriented, trying to get out of a gravity well, get his eyes out of line of sight for that guiding light, and C9 is just turning LG every which way on these rounds. We're still early game. We got to see what LG does when they can mount those ultimates in rounds 5, 6, 7, whenever they start to get them. But C9 is kind of taking these rounds in a demand. Superstars going down or creating the angles where Leaf doesn't have to second guess. He has one angle to look at and then the second angle to check once he starts the swing and drive to that next position. You know, it's very step by step once they're hitting these sites. And if you're behind a smoke for LG, you can't stop that step by step until you're face to face with what tends to be Leaf right now. But we'll have to see. C9 usually starts to pull a bit of spark from everybody on the squad, and that's what can make them even more scarier. More stability.
And a nice little unintentional pause to calm things down allows LG to get the first blood with a wall bang, actually, into B main. As we're trying to scale up in that area for C9. We're still holding the flank for Mitch. Was able to get at least 1 out of 2 that were peeking out. Didn't know that there was, or doesn't know that there's actually a third player hiding around the angle, and you saw B-Dog's 1 HP. So this is going to be very tough for LG to try to converge this eco as C9 have made it into B, and they're looking for this plant from Zeta.
Oh, this push. Can it do anything from Tig? It's actually going to be B-Dog as well. And already 2 are watching.
So much coverage.
The turret's active in mid, right?
Exactly.
So they don't have to worry about too much.
That and a crossfire as Vanity's going back towards spawn side, so this would be good. Mitch, even if he gets traded out, Vanity's already going to be there, and look at that. They're able to keep him alive. Mitch has 2 HP, and then Dazzle and Moose, nothing's going to work here. We only have 1 more to go. He's going to get gravity welled and wallbanged by Zeta on top of that with the nanostorm. There's no escape. And C9 to put 4 on the board.
So Cloud9's doing a decent job of kind of denying LG the space they want to take to make Haven that 2-site map. Like, as long as you can push up long A, you know it might be BC. As long as you can push up C, it's B. It feels a little bit better to defend and more confident. But the way that C9 plays it is they put Mitch in mid. And he has his utility covering such a vast area that no one takes control mid.
Long C and
C
grass.
long, you know exactly when it happens. And then, so they actually change it up and they pull that utility back. We'll see if it changes C9's round. But that's been controlling LG being able to get any space in the previous rounds. And a lot of the time on Haven, that can give you the edge you need.
As Bren mentioned on the desk, this player right here has to be the one that is going to be the key component to open things up, and loses an op to a rifle. That's even Zeta holding an even tighter angle to win that fight. So lots of confidence I was giving here. Lots of trust to try to have B-Dog hold and anchor up the C side while the rest were stacking up towards B and C link. As they continue to lose numbers, Leaf pushing through towards that back. You see this cosmic divide towards the spawn side, but it's not even needed. We don't even need to pick up the spike. Everybody's pushing down for LG after the initial cosmic divide that comes out here, Remington, and they're just all getting caught on a default hold from C9.
Yeah, it's wild. They waited. They all waited. LG was kind of thinking, all right, they take down our opper, they're gonna grab that, they're gonna scatter. By the way, they didn't even grab the op. They said, that's fine. Cloud9 just goes back the other way to win the round. That LG, they're looking to make a move. Almost feels like they are forced into a position where they have to do something extra to make this round work. And again, we talked about defaults yesterday on Bind. If you're still in a default, you have this web of teammates to just absorb the opposing squad and hit trade fights when they come in. So Cloud9 seems to be reading the map really well, reading LG really well. LG back on the eco round here, and there's that push long. You can't fault it. You need that space, but Leaf hits the shot once again.
No utility to help B-Dog to actually put out a hit towards the A choke point. They lose that one, but at least Moose is there long range with the Sheriff, and you see it. There's a kill coming through. We might have tried to push a little bit more, but that smoke coming towards the top, that's going to slow things down a bit. That's going to give us a chance to talk about this a little bit as well, Rip, because you're talking about how C9 are reading this map really well, but I feel it's also a lot of LG having to guess a lot in this game, right? We've seen an aggressive pop in the first round for C9. The second one, it's like, okay, hit, kill, cut noise, re-hit. The third round, pretend that we're actually hitting a site, hold a default. So LG has no idea of how C9 are currently executing their attacker side.
100%. LG, you're right, Vans. LG is being tested on their reactive gameplay because they don't get too much info beforehand. The site is hit, and then they have to react. This is going to be the info they get is basically an alarm and then a headshot. That was a shoulder headshot. He hit him right through the wall. Vanity is just something else.
He's going towards spawn side while the rest of the team are pushing in through the A site, but they haven't really cleared out towards sewers and long, so this is why you're planning for spawn side, you're planning for the defender side, and you're playing back instead. And you're potentially going to see this fault line after the splash comes out. It's actually an aftershock instead, and a double swing to come out for Cloud9. And now we have lots of rounds being swapped up and scooped up by Cloud9. What, a 4-13 scoreline that they lost when they tried to directly counter with a Viper in their composition. So you can see that LG, it's not necessarily that they're struggling on this map. They're just trying to figure out how they could work this a little bit better with different comps. And I feel that right now, especially with Mata and Dazzle, a double initiator on defense where we're not really using utility to post B-Dog in positions where he can get control. But we're changing the pace, actually, Red. We're going straight off a blind Hunter's Fury that actually does get the ping on the Leaf. So they know now the default's still very slow for Cloud9. They're still holding back towards this attacker spawn side. And then we're just going to stand our ground for LG.
And let's watch this round more if they're going to explode here. From LG's side, they have defensive push on short, but now C's getting hit. That's where the KJ util is. They've read this so far. Can they get the frags? Zeta gets the first blood.
Yeah, and that was at least a nice flash to try to delay for a bit while the rest of the defense are falling back. And now actually also fully blinded Leaf trying to move into the site. But now the map control, the C site is under control for Cloud9. They have an ult to push back. Here comes shock darts on the ground. That's not going to break the ult, so you're wasting even more time. And now that you invested so much on the ult, you have 5 players that are alive for Cloud9. I feel that after you look for this information, you might want to save, but they're guessing otherwise. Seekers are coming out, actually, for LG. And we get a ping on the Leaf. We're swinging out now as Mata gets the wallbang kill. As Seeker's also going to hit another post-plant attacker as Moose gets the wallbang at the Zeta. Okay, so we've changed things around. Things are looking good here for LG to actually turn it over in their side. But now as the lockdown finishes, that clock is still ticking down. Nobody from the defenders is actually on that spike, and there's no smoke to cover, so now you have to save. Unfortunately, it worked in the beginning, but now you've lost your smoker. You're just saving your op. You're saving your rifle, and it's C9 with another point on the board.
You saw the potential, though. Once Mata did get that ult, once they covered the map, the control of the utility is LG was kind of fighting from the proactive position to get back in the site. C9 still delaying time enough to get the round to themselves, and LG find themselves another round down. 7-1 now as we go to round 9, and B-Dog will have the operator. This is a round. It has to be huge. He's going to go for a quick pick and flash, but he meets Leaf here right off the bat. What they usually do is they guiding light out long, dismiss this long orb, but they have already passed once this all happened. They go quick.
We're popping. We're popping for C9, so another change of pace. Now this time controlling a lean towards the A side, and after that you're cutting the noise right away. You're trying to scout for more information, knowing that some of them are on these lower buys, so we have any judge plays, anything that's going to be weird towards sewers. It's cleared out. They spotted Dazzle towards that top, so they know that one of those rifles that was saved for LG is currently being anchored towards the A side. Where's the other rifle? Cloud9 doesn't know, but at least for us as the observers, we see that B-Dog is now posted up there with the operator.
I'm afraid for this op. With the speed C9 is hitting sights, the positioning of the op scares me. But we trust in B-Dog.
For sure.
The pop-off round could be now. This is the run.
And the good news is that there's no big ultimates that's going to disrupt the site too much. It's just going to be the fault line.
He got fault lined.
Yeah, you already saw how Dazzle's being under heavy control there towards that back of default, but we're doing the same thing on the defender side. Gravity Well went towards that front of the A side. We're spamming through the smoke. You follow the tracers from the Vandal of Lee.
Yes.
The off shot misses, though. It's a 4-on-4. Now we're moving up. Mitch is inside this Nebula. We're swinging out for take, but it's still going to be LG, making it a 3 versus 2, and make that now a 2 versus 2. Mitch is still running in back to a frenzy, trying to go for this hunt in the back of the site. It works out for Vanity and for Mitch in the end on both angles of left and right of default. And it was such a close round that I was almost won by LG with a lower buy.
Cloud9 with another great round. Patience on the take, good utility usage. Vans, overall, I think LG is asking too much of themselves right now. Like, to play that position, to have both B-Dog and Dazzle forward of default area on A, right? They weren't behind the boxes. They weren't in that safe of a spot. I guess Dazzle was able to position there, but then they get fault line. They get pushed around, and that's not really going to help with the situation of having an operator. You want to be safe. You want to be out. You want to be able to jiggle. Yeah. So, yeah, not doing themselves any justice in the positioning, too. You can see, again, they're hungry to get frags. They want to kind of go outside the box a little bit, but C9 is reading all of these things. You want to add the percentage to your play that's going to make it a win, and LG has to think about that on every angle they take.
Everyone's just landing shots for C1.
Oh, my
C9,
word.
Sorry. I say C1 because we still only have 1 point on the scoreboard for LG. But yeah, as you say, oh my lord, everybody is just hitting their shots for Cloud9. Everybody's getting their dual wins. I mean, we've seen highlight reels so far of Leaf of how aggressive he is, but everybody else on that board, anybody that's pushing forward, they're still gaining the first dual wins to get these this side controls. Now we have an attempt of a retake for LG, and we're going for it. So Flash coming out from Mata, Fault Line coming out from C9 to counteract, and that's 2 players to trade off, make that even 3 on the utility, and taking advantage of the utility of Cloud9 as they put a 9th on the board. And LG, they're going to be back in a situation where they have to save again.
There's so many flashes. Like, the constant utility from Cloud9 on this is ridiculous. It's like one trade. You see someone try to peek. There's another flash. Someone goes down. There's the breach flash coming through the wall higher, which you can't destroy like a guiding light or hope it doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Absolutely swarmed with utility is LG.
LG, yeah, like the utility, but also all these check spams that are going in for Cloud9, right?
Oh my God.
You talked about the wall bang that you had from Vanity, that kill through the smoke there from Zeppa. Just everything's been working just absolutely well for Cloud9 in their map pick.
Just a few more rounds here in this half. Well, I should say your last round, or 2 more. This and your last. Leaf gonna be the first to push as well. They're going dry this time. The first time. No, he's gonna wait for the Seekers after getting a hard angle on the site. Really slow, methodical play. Again, putting that percentage in their favor for Cloud9. Make these plays work out. Mitch has been guarding that mid, keeping the util active. Does he get caught, though? And Mata, they have a Vandal on the way in. Is it enough? And do they wait for him?
It's not too bad. So this is what I'm talking about before. The type of setup that you have on this Korean lineup, right? You're planning here for angles we can walk through sewers without exposing yourself. You have a Gravity Well playing towards the back. And yeah, exactly. B-Dog's getting some work done at least. So 2 more players to delay. That's Zeta and Vanity, where Vanity puts another star here onto the spike. Flash coming out, triple peek from LG. And now we're trying to hold our angles. The Gravity Well comes out, the fault line into the default. Vanity gets the kill on the other end. And that's a beautiful assist from Zeta. And that leaves it on a 2 versus 1. And it's going to make it even harder. There's no time. And we're putting 10 on the board here for C9.
The flash and fault line delay as well. Even if you're doing post plant, there's so much to offer. I love me some breach. Put them on every map. Find a way.
It's such a nice setup. It's such a nice setup.
You have so much distance. You cannot be there and still help. You can't really say that for other things, you know?
Yeah.
Only a few ultimates. Only a few ultimates will do that. It's true. That's true, but they have that too. So you're ready.
Which is why they
so much displacement, concuss, flashing. It's like you don't get to play the game composition of agents.
Yep. It almost feels like back in like the Iceland days where Vanity was falling for version 1 and they had the pulse plant metas as well with all the lineups.
Oh my word, yeah.
So very similar here now. It's just more of like a delay setup here. So you definitely know that Vanity likes to play these pulse plants. Now the execution for C9 inside the safe side. I mean, Leaf is just running across. Yeah, there's just so much disruption in these sites. Finally, B-Dog gets a kill with this operator, but to the dismay of losing 3 players anchoring inside this, or 2 players anchoring inside the A site and losing 1 on a C site battle, not going to be easy for them to retake in this last round. Do we have anything left here? 1 flash to go. They even blinds his own teammate, but Least Mata does get the kill onto Zeppa, allowing the Seekers to come out so they can spray through this. The wallbang's coming out, but he doesn't connect to the kill, and Zeta still stays alive long enough to get the last 2 right there and make it 11-1 for C9, looking to make LG lose another 13-1. Will that happen? We'll find out after the break. As we're back, and I didn't have to go onto Google, I could just go on Twitter and find a definition that Bren just put on there, a flatten. Right, the definition of a flattening there for the first half, unfortunately for LG against C9 here, Rib.
We went into break there, and I was just like, Vans, that was scary.
Sure those are the specific words you used?
There was a little more adjective usage in there. But oh my word, that was scary. They were relentless on Cloud9's side. They didn't stop. Everybody was on board with each strat, trading kills, being there for the pushes with Leaf. Here we are into the second round as we got to continue to move on and see if LG can find a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And Moose, he'll charge onto Mitch and get that first frag of the second half.
So far, so good. Can't stop, won't stop for C9 and for LG. We're running through B side, A link towards A, and now we have a full pinch onto LG. We're closing in from spawn side. We're closing in from sewers and at long. And a flash that comes in. But the trades are still pretty good for LG. One up towards the heaven side to go for the high-low peak. And it works out. LG stays alive in this pistol round.
Just bringing the heat as well. Right into the site there. Leaf trying to get everything. But Moose able to capitalize on a few for himself. A great starting frag as well to figure out that there was going to be a bit of a push from Cloud9. And I think LG reacted really nicely to that. Whoa. 2 rifles, Vans. They are digging into the reserves here for second round.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 1 went down to a Spectre again. B-Dog's actually saying, if we can get to an op, I need to. So he doesn't go for the fan. That's kind of wild.
Stinger no armor for Leaf.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one as well.
That's good eye. Yeah, is he pushing? He just wants to be... Oh, no. Vanity takes 1 down. Mata had one of those weapons. They traded out. Boom. I was going to wonder.
What was that rifle?
They throw the Spectre away as well. You can see Mitch. He's like, no, don't do that.
I love it.
I'm going to come hunt that weapon down. And they're waiting for Mitch to come get it. They're trying to play off what the intentions of C9 might be here, which in a way is proactive, but they are reacting to Cloud9 still, right? They are a little worried of the pressure C9's bringing, the heat that these shots have behind what Vanity just did. And they've waited correctly. Nice job by Tig and by Dazzle to pick up another one.
You even heard like the weapon drop, pick up the Sheriff that was left behind by Vanity. So that was an opportune moment for LG to go for that swing and drop Mitch into the site. Now Tink doing a little bit more work here, clear out the C side, and it looks pretty good. You lose that rifle in the beginning, it looks scary because of Vanity's shot, but after that trade, and you went on a default, you breathe a little bit, everything went back to normal there for LG. That was good.
And that's the thing. Even for us, even for the viewers, for people watching, and for LG, that shot from Vanity has so much more impact with the scoreline because of what they've been doing. But it was corrected, right? So even C9 has affected the mental that's going into people for this game. You're just like, oh, there's one. Where's the next? You know, LG's still there. They're breathing. They're not down and out just yet. And we'll see if they can keep this pressure up here. It is going to be guns on guns. in our second half. Still a long road ahead for LG here on Haven. But they've broken the curse, fans.
Yeah. At a fault line and also a guided light down towards sewers just to see if we had a dash coming in for an early control in that area. But now with this round, a rifle coming in, or rifles coming in rather, for Cloud9, more information gathering on this A side battle. Trailblazer on the attacker side, another flash on the defender side. And it seems to be empty on both ends. So we've cut noise at least in that area. We've kept Cloud9 into the A site. But we're still lurking up here towards this front B side, potentially for a C split with a late lurk into B. Oh my god, no way. No way.
Not what you need at that point.
No way.
You can expect something from Mitch every once in a while. Whether it's a Vandal or an Operator that he sneaks out on you. Oh, what a aftershock.
I don't even know what to say anymore, Riv. I mean, that's 2 wallbang kills through the garage doors that Mitch is able to get, and that just, again, completely flattens what looked pretty good for the scaling that LG was going to bring into this map. You saw that those 3 guys were lurking up there to try to take control of the garage, following Mata right there to initiate into the garage area for the seaside split, but, man, I mean, look at this. You can't get any unluckier of how many times we've been killed through smokes and through walls today for LG on this map.
One enemy remaining.
You can't even say, like, they went garage. They didn't.
Yeah, they just died.
You just tried to go by the doors. Oh, C9. Raking in all the chances here to take a W on the round. Fault line. I like that. Zeta. Stopping any quick push, but it was a good wait for LG. So they read the fault line play, and does it pay off for them? It's going to be a smoke.
And Zeppa uses it to his advantage, and he gets 4 kills, looking for the ace right now. Flash across, gets the information, a Seeker to make sure where he's at, and it's Take that swings out, taking advantage of the weapon switch back into Zeppa. And that would have been a great way to finish it through, but here comes the Aftershock. That's it. Zeta gets the kill with the Aftershock through the Cosmic Divide, and it's 13-3.